What's up everybody, back in another Konosuba video, and in today's video we are going to go over a lot of things. This is the beginner guide to Konosuba. So originally I was going to edit this a bunch, however I feel like the easiest way to explain something is to show it, especially since a lot of Konosuba's menus are a tad confusing. You can go back and while I talk, look at the screen and follow like what I do so you can better understand it instead of just, looking at a basic PowerPoint presentation of me saying, yeah, this thing, and then they're like, okay, well, where is it? How do I get to it? All that stuff. So I'm just going to show you. So first things first, this is the main menu. Of course, when you load in, the events button right here will probably pop up. Most of the time, you're just going to close it until you're done with your dailies. So we'll go over that when we get to it. But this is the main screen. You're going to have a bunch of banners in the bottom left. They're pretty much, funny enough, banners to summon on, or they can be stuff such as events. They can be, I know this one's like ironically enough, the adventure guide basics. And then I think there's one with packs. Yeah, this is like in store. You'd buy them with money. Pretty much just stuff that's happening in game will be displayed here. You're gonna have whatever character on your screen with one of their quotes right here. I have Eins because I like Overlord. Other than that, the rest of it, there's unfortunately this little small community tab right here that's probably going to be very hard to see. It has the link to the Facebook, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch of Konosuba Fantastic Days. So if you ever need the links, they are all right here. Then let's go over the rest of the buttons on the left side of the screen. So the first thing from community up is friends. Pretty much what you do is you can add people on Konosuba. You can do the co-op raids with them, but the main reason you do it is so you can greet them. So no, I have 100 friend beef, so I'm not going to get any from this, but you can send them friend beef. I know that's my greeting. Just follow me on YouTube, pretty basic stuff. And then you would send them. Normally it would send 20 right here, but since I have max, it says 0. So daily friend beef limit for set greetings is 20. The limit for receiving greetings is 10. So you get 30 stamina beef from that, which is stamina for the game. I'll go over the stamina later. That's pretty much the gist of friends. Not really too anything crazy. It's just send stamina to each other and invite each other to the co-op events. Next is a button that you may or may not see. I have Gift of the Goddess up because I currently am purchasing it, but these are packs you can buy with money, and every day it'll say, hey, like 100 quartz a day or 60 quartz a day, whatever pack you buy, you go into it like this, and then you'd hit accept. Mine says close because I already accepted it for the day. This probably won't be on your screen if you're a new player, or you could have multiple of these, whatever it may be. There's an icon for it. There's also another icon if you buy the rank up packs. It'll say like level up rewards or something. It's pretty much like a similar icon to this, and you click on it and just get your quartz from it. Then we have note, which is this page. I never really used this, to be honest. It's just, your generic, almost said Reddit kind of stuff. It's just pretty basic stuff like Facebook. There's patch notes. Clicking on this will bring you onto my least favorite part about this game, which is a super unoptimized pop-up. It's just not great. If you're a newer player, I'd try to avoid this if you don't get overwhelmed, just because it's a bit confusing to navigate, but it just has information about a bunch of stuff. Nothing too crazy in here that I don't go over or is just, not relevant. I guess the biggest thing is news and announcements. And then you can be like, okay, there's like a login bonus. If you want a prettier version of all this, I recommend joining the Discord. Dal does a good job of making it really simple and has a TLDR at the end of it. So if you're always confused about that, join the Discord and you'll get, patch notes and all that stuff, in a nice, beautiful layout. Next up is campaign. This is pretty much going to show what's happening on Konosuba at the moment. So right now there's a 2x affinity points earned from event quests. Sometimes it'll be like double drop rate, more XP, more affinity, all that kind of stuff. That's all right here. Then we have room invitations. This is for the co-op I mentioned. If somebody on my friends list invited me to a co-op, it would show up here. That's why you can play with your friends. You're not it doesn't actually play with your friends. It's pretty much you and your friend fighting the same boss with the same HP. So if I hit it for like 10 damage, the person I'm playing with will see that I hit it for 10 damage kind of thing, you know? And then we have the events. So this is going to open up when you launch Konosuba. I'm sure you've seen it before. This is going to have certain events such as Otherworldly Grab Bag, etc. There's like a veneer one. These are pretty generic. It'll have like how to get more points for it normally on it, and then after a while the event will go away. Stuff that stays the same is going to be gift for adventurers, monthly login, mission bonus, and weekly quest. So at the end of your play session, if you download your dailies, you're gonna have to go here because it says claimed, but normally it will say claim, and you'll have to click on it. Obviously, I haven't done these missions yet, so I cannot, but you'll have to claim it and click it every single time. So if you log in, right, you won't have any of these done besides the login one, obviously. Then you're gonna have to back out, do your dailies, and then come back here. So don't forget to do that because I missed a bunch of these when I first started playing. For the monthly login, this is like your login bonus every day. You have to as well hit claim, unfortunately. Same with the mission bonus and the weekly quest. It is not automatic. You have to click it yourself or you will be missing out on these rewards. Next up is get quartz. So for the get quartz option, I'm not going to play it for obvious reasons because it is an ad, but you watch an ad. Once the ad is done, you close it, you get 100 free quartz, pretty basic. Then you have your gifts. I'm going to go over that in a second. You have missions. Missions, pretty much you have daily missions. Once you complete these, you go to the events tab. Pretty basic stuff. There's one for regular achievements. There's one for special achievements, normally related to events. And then there's titles for affinity and whatnot. That, when you claim those and stuff from events, it'll actually go to your gift box, so you have to open it up and then hit accept all to get it. It will not go directly to your inventory, unfortunately, so do keep that in mind. If you're like, oh, I've cleared so many missions and accepted so much stuff from events, where are my stuff? It's all in gifts. Then we have jobs. Jobs, pretty much you put 3 characters on, and every time there is something to be accepted, you get random items. And their affinity goes up a little bit, so that's always nice. Other than that, that's pretty much it. There's shop and exchange, but I will be going over those later because it can be a bit confusing. Next up is quests. So there are main quests, events, free quests, and the arena, and then dungeon, which is only open certain times, so I won't go over it. Main quest is your, pretty basic. It's just do the events, there's story, yada yada, clear them. There are 3 difficulties to these. There's normal, hard, and expert. Let me actually click on, I forgot how much she talks, holy crap. Alright, so there's normal, hard, expert. Let me click on this real quick. There are 20 quests normally for normal, then on hard there is 4 that you can only clear 3 times each. I'll get over that later. And then on expert there's 2 that you can only clear 1 time each. Then for events it differs a bit. Man, I forgot she talks every time you click a button. Luckily this one doesn't. Okay, so this event, right? Luckily, when you click on quest, there's actual quests to do. Right, there's normal and there's special, which is the same as hard. There's 3 clears each. Thank you, Veneer, for being rather loud. I'm actually going to turn that down. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. And then there's a boss, co-op stuff. The events change. Sometimes it'll ask you to clear main story instead to get tickets. And there's event story you can watch for cutscenes. Pretty basic stuff. And then there is the free quest you can do. I'm muting her. It is what it is. These free quests, there are going to be 4 a day. You can clear 2 times each. So this one 2 times, this one 2 times, this one 2 times. You just get more rewards than normal. And then there's the generic quests you can do if you're missing some evolution items or some money or some XP potions. They're pretty much all structured the same. You can only do them a certain amount of times, or you can do them an unlimited amount of times. So think of main quest, events, and free quests as all similar things, just in different tabs. And then we have Arena. Arena is sort of the PvP slash competitive mode, if you will. I don't take it too seriously myself, but you get coins that you can exchange. You can get other awards for clearing, certain scores. You get stuff like quartz and other items. And then there's an Arena EX as well. The Arena EX is just going to focus on what your score is, while Arena, the normal one, is going to say, okay, you have this score. This is your rank for the people who play Konosuba. So right now I have this score, and my rank is 4,333. That means there are 4,332 people with a better score than me. Pretty basic. The rewards, unfortunately, for this mode aren't too great, so I wouldn't worry too much about it if you aren't able to score high. And that's pretty much all the quest stuff. Pretty generic stuff. There's not too much to go about it without getting into the gameplay of Konosuba, which, funny enough, the gameplay of Konosuba is one of the simplest things. It is pretty much just use your skills, do damage. If you guys want, I will have a gameplay guide if you really want that. This is more of navigating what everything mean. Let me know in the comments if you do want the gameplay portion, because that is a bit more complicated. And this video would be so long if I had to add that. So let's go up to story. Hopefully we don't hear the characters nagging at us. This is where you're going to go to see cutscenes from main story. When you clear certain quests in main story, you will get a cutscene unlocked to go watch it. Same thing happens when you increase a character's affinity on this screen. If you do the events, you can look at the old events that you've done and watch their stories. And then there's the original Konosuba story as well. Nothing too crazy there, it's just a cutscene. Read it, watch it. Sometimes they're pretty funny, and then you get some quartz from it as well. Now into the probably most important part, which is your teams. So this is where you're going to go to enhance members. You have assists, party, character upgrades, and reserves. Let's get this out of the way. First, reserves is where your duplicate characters go that you pull. If you pull a character more than once, they're going to go here. Then there is enhanced members. Pretty basic. You just go up to a character, right? They're going to have different things you can upgrade. So for the promote, I can't upgrade him anymore because he is at promote 5 out of 5. Once you promote a character to 5 out of 5, you can then increase their level to 60, which should be 30 more levels than what they normally are. They summon at 30 and then they go to 60. And then of course you level them up with potions. Cosmo's already maxed. And then there is another tab, which is upgrade skill. When you pull dupes of a character that go to your reserve, you can then use dupes to increase your skills level by 3. Alternatively, there's also skill potions that increase it by 1. So it's more effective to have dupes, but you can use skill potions if you have to. Of course, leveling up a skill will normally either extend the buff duration or cause it to do more damage, right? It'll pop up and pretty much tell you what it is when you level it up. That's pretty much that for this screen. Assists are a mechanic in game that you unfortunately have to summon for sometimes. I know we got Hempscape for free from the Overlord collab, but the rest of these are summonable. This is just a screen where you can just look at your assists. I'll go over them when I get to, funny enough, the next part, which is party. So I don't know what team is going to pop up here. Alright, so it's the Earth team for the event. So you can have 5 people on your team. The first 3 people are going to be the ones that pop out first in battle, right? The slot under the character is going to be a sub-party member. So for my character, it's Veneer. Veneer gets a bonus of 10% to his stats when you equipped, Veneer. So for this one, he has 86 attack, right? He gets a boost because it is under Veneer. So let me see. I guess this is the easiest way. So normally Veneer wouldn't have this high of attack, right, to compete with, 4 stars, but he's getting a 10% boost because it's Veneer. So I would recommend using the same type of character on the sub slots. However, do keep in mind that some characters don't really help your character out. Like, so for example, This Leah right here, she's a water EX skill. The veneer I'm using does not use water attack, so you wouldn't get a bonus for it. So obviously, you have to keep in mind with what EX skill is on what character, because you will get the stat buff, but if the actual EX skill isn't helping you, it's not the greatest, so you want to make sure that you have the character with the right EX skill on your characters. There are some they can get away with, such as the legendary characters are so good that you could put them on a character that isn't them, but it's more a case-by-case basis with that. Next up is weapons. So, weapons, it's a lot. I'll go over armor as well while I'm at it. What I recommend for this is if you're just starting out, just make whatever you can, right? Don't focus too much on upgrading it. I feel like getting your characters leveled up definitely gets you a lot more. Trust me, I've played 4 accounts. I just pretty much make gear so they have something and then bum rush to get them to 60. Then from there, you can try to get better gear. I would recommend just trying to shoot from like, you can get like the level 1 versions of the gold ones if you really wanted to, but the 4-star weapons and the personal weapons are your best bet to shoot for. If you have any of the tickets, I'm not too sure how many tickets the new players get, but you can use tickets to buy certain equipment or weapons. What I would recommend is if you're rerolling for, let's say, Chris, get a weapon for Chris, get a armor piece for Chris. Which one you get doesn't really matter. Some of them are harder to get, but at the beginning of the game, any of them will work. Chris is going to do less damage against fire because she's wind, so I guess you can counteract that by giving her something for fire resistance if you really wanted to, because she would be not able to kill them as quickly and thus take more damage. But like I said, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. As long as you just have something there, it matters more when you're actually going for certain events like this one. It's an electric enemy, so I have this. Hence, I think you can check here. Yeah, okay. Oh, not there. My bad. Anyway, regardless of elemental stuff, those are those slots, and then underneath that is the ultimates. Now there are normally 3 ultimates, right, which is your basic one, which this is the one Veneer has at the beginning. There is this one that you can unlock through a feature I'm going to explain in a little bit, and then the 3rd skill, which I don't have unlocked yet. The 1st and 2nd ult are going to be the same one, right? This one just has more stuff. This one just does damage. This one has other abilities. And then the 3rd ult, which technically is the 2nd ult, this is the ult 1.5, it's just a term we use, is a different ult entirely. So different animation, different type, different effects. Then over on this side, we have total power. Then now total power is a lie. It doesn't actually matter. You could have a total power of 10 and still have better units than someone who has a total power of like 1,000,000. I'm being exaggerating here, obviously, but it really doesn't matter. As long as your team has synergy, your team should be fine. Now, we have assists. These are going to be used generally 1 per battle. I know this guy can be used twice per battle, which is nice, but normally assists can be used once per battle. They have various effects. The clocks will bring your cooldown reduction of your attacks down. This guy gives you an attack buff. This one heals you. Yada yada. They're pretty much just there to help you in battle, and you can just have one equipped at all times. I recommend doing it because it also gives you stats, even if it's something like this bottle that only does like a little bit of wind damage. Then you have party traits. Party traits by default will be physical attack boost and magic attack boost. If you're using mages, use magic. If you're using physical characters, use physical attacks. And then certain characters such as Veneer will have an elemental one. Those are characters from the gacha pool that you'll have to pull. Obviously, they are pretty helpful as well. Next up is smithy. This is where you go to craft equipment. I pretty much generally just went over that. Just make like, sort of the crappier ones and then try to shoot for the 4 stars. These are the end goal are these weapons. It's kind of hard to get them. I will be honest with you, these shards have a really bad drop rate, so don't be discouraged if you can't get them right away, but make sure you are working towards them when you can. Then, the funnest part of any gacha game, which is summoning. So, this is going to be a little hard to explain, as unfortunately the rates table is horrendous, but if you want to view the rates, you click on this, it's going to bring you to a pop-up that's not really good design. It'll have all this information, and you pretty much have to scroll down. This is the premium crew, this is the 4-star tickets. It's not pretty at all, so keep that in mind. If you want to look at the rates, it's going to be rather confusing to look at. But you hit on recruit list, and these are the banners. There are normal banners that have normal quartz, and there's paid banners as well. As you can see, I have 15 paid quartz and 1,850 free quartz. So if I were to go to this banner, I can't summon on it because it has paid quartz only. So that is a thing in this game. Also, with banners, there is a pity system. If you hit 250, which is 25 multis, which is 75k quartz, you will be able to exchange for a character on the banner. Normally it is the new characters, but for this one it is a special one, so it'll have 3 old characters as well. But generally it's just the new characters that appear pretty much on this screen right here. You see Megumi, there'll be Chris, and then a Yin. There's other banners as well, such as the OG banner. There's free banners as well that gives out tickets, but pretty much just use them when you get them, unless you're saving for something. There's the assist one as well, as where you get assists. Pretty much just general gacha stuff. I don't think I need to make a video on banners, hopefully. Then, last but not least, is the menu page. This is going to have stuff like settings, support links, friends list. This is your profile. It's going to have the gallery, which shows you all the units in the game, the assists, other scenes. There's also videos, which these videos are actually pretty cool, but I can't play them because of copyright. All the characters, like I don't have this aqua, all that stuff. But the main purpose of this page is the shop. This is where you spend real life money to buy the in-game items. Of course, I will never recommend spending money to anybody, but if you do, have extra cash or just want to buy something, this is where you go for it. And then the only other really reason to be on the screen besides your profile is exchange shop. There are a lot of exchange shops. I won't go over all of them, but it's pretty much, if you get adventure medals from exchanging dupes, you go here, which were the reserves I talked about earlier. You get skill potions, goddess medals, there's, weapons, old event units are there, arena medals. For doing arena, you can get weapon scrolls to make weapons, you get jewels, all this kind of stuff. You can exchange for different levels of potions, because there is minor, moderate, and large, right? Exchange those. Pretty generic stuff. Right, you can exchange for different colored orbs or jewels. There's extra medals. There's potential, which that'll be the last thing I go over. Pretty much characters' potential. When you summon for them, 3 stars give you 2 stars give you 1, 3 stars give you 5, 4 stars give you 20 of the character you pull's potential. If you have a character's potential, you can exchange it for this adventure's potential, which is like the universal. So let's say I don't really care for Cosma, I can get rid of all his potential shards and then get universal. So I got 5 universal, and I can use those on a different character. Speaking of that, we're gonna get into that now. I clicked on one's team. Alright, so there's a reason I skipped character upgrade, and that is because it's quite a lot. So every character in Konosuba is going to be on the screen, plus there's the collab characters. I'll get into those at the very end, but each character is going to have the character screen, which is going to have them in whatever outfit you put them in. Cosma is in the basic one for me. It'll have a super list of what you have unlocked. You have affinity awards. If you increase their affinity, their stats go up and their supers go up as well. You can gift them gifts to increase affinity. You can check profile of them. You can check their voice lines, and then you can equip them with costumes that you've pulled. So for this one, I have pulled the legendary Cosmo recently, so I'm going to find right here. All right, so since I pulled Legendary Cosmo, I can put him in the costume, and when he's on your home screen, he'll look like that, right? Pretty basic stuff. Next is Potential Blessing. These are the shards I told you about for pulling dupes. What you're going to do with this is you're going to click on the one that you want to upgrade, and then be like, okay, well, for this one, I need 25. I have 86. I'm not going to do it right now, but you get the gist of it, right? I have a video going over what the best option is for each character, so go ahead and check that out. But everyone has a different potential blessing. You can't, like, obviously if I put some in the Cosmo, it's not going to work for other characters. As you can see, I have 3 out of 8 and 7 out of 8 here. On Aqua, I have 7 out of 8 on the Water Wind. It's different for each character, and of course, you're going to have different amount of shards for each character. Then we have the Trial of the Ancient. This is where you go to get their personal weapon and their ults. For Cosmo right now, I was getting his Chichimaru Kai. It's going to take these materials. You're going to have to increase their infinity to progress along this as well. And then this is the first grid. Once you get all the way to the end here, you can get their weapon. And then if you go upwards after the third shrine, you can get their secondary ult. Cosmo's secondary ult is the snipe skill. And then if you're wondering about the other ult, if you go down to the secret shrine, you'll get their 1.5, which is pretty much their first ult, but with a different ability. Pretty simple to get that one. And now onto the cloud characters. The cloud characters are special. They only have one ult, so there is no up path for the Trial of the Ancients. There is just the straightforward path. They also don't have unique weapons for them, so it'll just increase stats when you go on to the second page, unlike the other characters. And for their potential blessings, they all share the same one, which is this little yellow one. Pretty much you get 20 for pulling a cloud character, because the cloud characters are 4 stars, and you can use the universal one. That's pretty much going to be it for the basic menu UI of Konosuba. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I wanted to be somewhat brief with everything to not confuse you guys too much, but I also wanted to somewhat explain them. So hopefully you get the gist of it. I feel like the hardest part about Konosuba is navigating all the menus and knowing what each things do. If there is one of the mechanics you would like me to make a video on, such as, you know, the gameplay of it, or, you know, something about like the weapons or whatever it may be, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get around that eventually. But other than that, that'll pretty much be it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you enjoy Konosuba Fantastic Days. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Konosuba content, and I'll catch you on the next Konosuba video.